Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Even if you're not a makeup aficionado, you will have heard that Rihanna's brought out her range of makeup, Fenty Beauty. I have not seen any tutorials with women over the age of 30, I would say, so I am here as a community service. I had to try it. I'll let you know what I think. Keep watching. I have moisturized, so that's nice and hydrated. And we're going to start with the primer. It retails for $32 at Sephora, Australian dollars that is. And it comes in a great pump action bottle, nice weighty glass bottle. Warm it between your fingers and apply. If you girls don't use a primer, you really should, because it really creates a beautiful canvas. This one is quite liquidy. Just looking in the mirror, I don't feel it is actually filling my pores, which is a little bit of a problem for me. But like with my other primers, I will use two different primers. So I'll use one that's a pore filler. I use the NYX, and that sort of fills those pores and a little bit of scarring there. And then I go over it with the primer to create that beautiful smooth canvas. Feels nice, doesn't feel tacky. It smells nice and fresh, not heavily scented, but nice. The foundation that I've been matched to is the 290. What I like about the foundation range, apart from the fact that there is 40 different colors, 40, is that it's broken up in different ranges. So there is the warms, the neutrals, the cool color, and then there's also the olive, which is probably the hardest skin color to find a matching foundation for, because it sort of sits in between all of those three. Again, pump action, that nice weighty glass bottle, and just a couple of pumps. It's quite liquidy. Liquidy, is that even a word? It's quite runny. Doesn't mean to say it's not pigmented. It promises to be medium coverage to full coverage. Fenty Beauty does bring out a makeup sponge to apply it with. I'm not keen on sponges for very liquidy, very runny foundations, because I feel that the sponge soaks up the foundation quite a bit. I prefer to use a brush. Now I have bought the beautiful Fenty foundation brush, which is in that same sort of millennial pink, dusty pink color with a really nice soft dense top, but it's so nice and pristine. I'm going to use a different one. This one is a buffing brush by Velvet Concept. It's a really nice flat top brush and it's dense, as you can see. This foundation dries and sets really quickly. So work fast, work in small areas rather than dot all over your face and then rub it in, because as soon as it sets, it's really hard to work with. It sets nearly like a powder. So just buffing it in. Make sure you take it over ears and down the jawline as well. And that gives a really, really nice finish. Just a primer, and this one is with the foundation. Rihanna's philosophy is that she wants the skin to look like skin but better, rather than skin with makeup, if you know what I mean. Let's go a couple more pumps for the other side. I have seen some makeup tutorials where they have one side primer and one side not, and I don't understand why you would do that. Always use the primer. Non-negotiable, girls, non-negotiable. But I think this looks quite natural. Take it down a little bit if you want. Some reviews have been telling us all about how the color changes, it oxidizes on the skin, which means when it sets, it goes a little bit darker, sometimes a little bit warmer on the face. So if you go to Sephora and you get a sample, make sure you put it on, walk away, and then come back, because it does make a difference. Once it's dried down and it's set, it changes colors slightly. I have other foundations that do worse than this, and I really don't think it's an issue. This feels quite matte, velvety, but matte, not tight. It's not tacky at all. It feels really quite dry, which could be an issue if you have dry skin. Not necessarily dehydrated, but dry skin. If you have flaky dry skin, I would say foundation will sit in those little patches, but you would have that problem with maybe a dewy foundation as well. All I can say is exfoliate. I use the glycolic Nip and Fab little pads before I put foundation on, and it gets rid of any flakiness around the nose that I might have, or usually around the nose or on the forehead, and that gets rid of that. And then follow with a good moisturizer. Let your moisturizer sink in a little bit, and then follow with your primer. So apart from the one primer fits all, 40 different color foundations, there are also the matchsticks. Matchsticks come in either a matte finish or a shimmer finish, and the matte finishes come in 20 different shades. So these are multi-purpose products. Now, they've made it quite easy for you. Seeing my foundation, as I said before, is in the 200 range, the 290. There is a trio that comes that is specifically for the 200 range. Of course, you can mix and match, you can buy them separately, but I bought the trio. It contains a light color called Bamboo, a darker color called Mocha, and a highlighting color called Trippin, which is like a gold apricot. Lovely highlighting color. Stick trios are not cheap. They're $79, but to buy them individually, they're going to set you back $37 each. There have been some reviews saying there is not a lot of product for $37. That's how much is in the product. It's a big container, but only that much product. In saying that, it is quite pigmented, and it is, how many grams is it? Let's see, it's 7.1 grams, which is quite a lot for a stick. I think it's because it's fatter rather than longer. I like to contour straight from the stick. I don't do that with the concealer, and I'll explain to you why in a minute. But let's put the contour on and see how we go. This is Mocha. So I like to create a bit of a cheekbone, more of a cheekbone, and also a little bit of a finer jawline, and narrow my forehead a little. I am using the lovely sculpting cheek brush by Velvet Concepts. Just blend it in. They are cream to powder, which means they set quite fast. Keep blending until all those edges are gone. If it's not enough, you can always put on a little bit more, but it's better to apply it in layers, I guess. Contour the nose. Fingers are great tools. A light color in the Bamboo. As a concealer, I wouldn't use it around my eyes. It's quite dry, and we all have those little fine lines on this area here. It will only accentuate those lines. Use it to highlight or to just cover any other areas on the face, but don't use it around the eyes. Use something that's a little bit creamier around the eye area. I like the my good old Maybelline Age Rewind. It's quite a dry product. If you use too much of it on your face, you're going to drag your skin and move your foundation. That's not something you want to do. So I like to put a little bit on my hand, warm it with the fingers, and apply it like that. It's pigmented enough to be able to do that. And this way, it's then blended as well from the warmth of your fingers. A little bit under cheekbone.
Here.
and just press it in. I like to put a little bit in those deeper areas around my mouth and the side of my nose, just a little bit. It gives the illusion of making it less deep. I also like to use it on my eyelids as a primer for any eyeshadow or any highlighter that you might like to use. It gives a really good base. I have this great little brush from e.l.f. You can get it in those areas there. If you have long nails, then you'll know what I'm talking about. It's hard to get into those little areas, and around the nose and any other blemishes that you might like to cover up. The shimmer sticks. I love these highlighting shimmer sticks. There are several different colors, from violet to gold. I really like these. Again, don't drag them over the skin. Just use your hand as a palette. Warm it with your fingers. And then just apply it on the high points of your face. Don't take shimmer or highlighters too close to the eye, especially where there's little lines. It does accentuate any fine lines, and we don't want that. Just a very gentle shimmer or highlight. I'm going to use a little bit under the brow bone, just because I can, and I actually might put some on the mobile eyelid too. There are also compact highlighters in the Fenty Beauty range. I'll start with the Mean Money. Maybe use a little bit on the nose area there. Again, I'm going to use a soft brush for an even more popping highlight, and using the Hustler Baby. Tap it and then just apply it. Buff it in. Oh, look at that shine. Rihanna, baby, you did good. You did good, girl. That is a stunning highlight. Gorgeous. Really like that one, as you can tell. Don't leave it there. You can put a little bit in the middle of your eyelid, on the mobile eyelid, just to give it a bit more depth. Glowy, healthy looking. Because the range is all about skin, and for a first release they have done an amazing job with the primer, the foundations, the highlighter, the contours, and they have also, and of course the brushes, they've brought out one gloss. So it's supposed to be a one color fits all. Woo! The applicator is quite large. As with it, look, it's a really pretty gloss. It feels nice. Smells delicious, and I guess it is a color that would suit most people. It doesn't have a tacky feel to it. It has more of a slick sort of feel to it. It's a very, very pretty lip gloss. You could leave it here. I don't feel it's enough for me. I need a little bit of depth around the eye, and I need a little bit of blush, I feel. I'm using blush, Melly Cosmetics. This one is as well. It's very, very natural. If you haven't used cream products before, it is perfect for our age group because it gives you a much more natural, more of a flush than a blush. So much more blendable too for a dry skin. I'm going in with one of the single colour eyeshadow NARS in Sophia. It's just a little bit of a taupey brown. I'm using a bigger brush, the Real Techniques bold metal brush. And I'm just going to put a little bit of depth in the socket and on the outer corner of my eye. So it opens the eye up a little bit more. One is a little bit smaller, that way I can get into that socket a little bit better. When you start your eyeshadow, start at the point where you want the most colour delivered. So start on the outside or close to the eyelashes there, and then blend in. Just blend, blend, blend. And when you think you're done, you blend a little bit more. I'm using the Marc Jacobs Gel Eyeliner. It's just a black, but I won't be doing a big smoky eye. I'll just be dotting in between the lashes. Again, to create a little bit more depth. And that makes your eyelashes look a lot thicker too. Don't know about you girls, but I have hardly any eyelashes. I love my fakies, but not always acceptable. Get your cotton bud, little bullet brush like this, and then just blend it a little bit. Just a little bit. Wiggle it, just a little bit. Mascara. This one is Milanese. Use a little bit of my Maybelline Age Rewind just for those little dark circles. Within the Fenty Beauty range there are also some oil blotting papers. They're really cute. They look like that, but they actually have little papers that come out of here, so you can blot during the day rather than applying more powder. There is also a blotting powder which I didn't purchase. In regards to blotting papers, I've got a little tip for you. When you go to McDonald's, not for you of course, for your kids, when you go to McDonald's, grab a few of those brown paper napkins. They are fantastic as blotting papers for oily areas like this. Try it. You'll thank me for it. As a roundup, what do I love? What do I need? What can't I live without? What can I do without? The primer I think is a must. The primer is worthwhile. I like it. It's nice and not too sticky on your face. It's mattifying, which is for me great in summer with the hotter months to come. Foundations, $50, 50 Australian dollars for quite a big bottle, I think. I really like this foundation. I have worn it during the week, so I know how long it lasts. It's a beautiful finish. Maybe for those of us with very dry skin, maybe stay away. The Match Stick Trio. Do I love all three? Yes, I do. I probably would have picked these anyway if it wasn't recommended that I'd get these. I don't think you need both one of these plus your stick. I think make your choice. What do you prefer? Your stick or the duo in a compact. I don't think you need both. I think you could do with one or the other. That's maybe something you should try on your skin. So up to you. The lip gloss, as pretty as it is, I think I have a million different lip glosses that will do the same thing. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes out in the Fenty Beauty lipstick range as well as the eyeshadow range. That would be interesting to see. Do I love this range? Yes. Can 50 plus wear it? Yes. But choose your products. I believe everything in this range can be used by any age group, but try it out. You have very dry skin, stay away. but otherwise age really doesn't matter. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was helpful. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, that would be amazing, or the thumbs down if you really have to. I hope you don't. And subscribe, that would be amazing. There's lots more videos coming out. And if you have any questions, just leave me a question below. I'm happy to answer any of them. Have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye.